Hi, welcome back. In this video, I am going to cover another sentiment data vendor or provider. So let me just bring this over. Again, under Quantopian, if you select data, it will come to this page here. So the next one that I do want to actually study on and to demonstrate is the data sets provided by Sentdex. If you look at this, it's Sentdex sentiment analysis, and the data or the source that he obtained his raw data from is from CNBC, Forbes, Business Insiders, as well as Yahoo Finance and Wall Street Journal. So let's walk through some of these. So he put in over 20 data sources. So apart from those that I've mentioned, there are other news sources that he looks at as well. So a little bit of description here is that Sentdex is a sentiment analysis algorithm. So it's turned by the mashing of sentiment as well as index. It basically utilizes NLP of Python. It understands the emotions people use in their online communication and translate them into computer language. Now, this data can be used to gain a deeper understanding of the world by showing how people across the world feel about publicly traded companies. The sentiment scores are generated from 4 simple moving average factors over the last 100, 250, 500, and 5,000 news events for each stock. Now, how do we make use of this? We can first of all import it. We're gonna explore this within the actual Quantopian research environment first before we actually port it through to the algorithm. So within the actual Quantopian research, if you are using the full paid version, this is the line that you use. If you are using the free sample and research, this is the line that you use. Here you import the sentiment. In this you import the sentiment free. Whereby in the algorithms, if you are using the fully paid, you would use this. The difference again, just want to highlight, in research you use the term interactive. You basically import it from that library, whereby if you're using algorithm, you use it, you import it from the library called pipeline, Quantopian pipeline. Now the key matrix is sentiment signal. So it's a standalone sentiment score from -3 to 6 for stocks. There are some example notebooks that's provided, as well as long-short equity strategies provided as well. So if we visit Sentdex, the price is very reasonable. In fact, it's actually unbelievable how much they're offering these data sets for. If you go around and research on some of the provider for sentiment data, they are substantially more expensive than this on a monthly basis. So the time span goes back to 2013, and the data that's freely available is 1st June 2013 until 28th of March 2017. Today is April 27, so as you can see, there's actually a vast difference in terms of the actual cost involved here, as well as the data is roughly about, I think, judging by the actual dates itself, you're looking at roughly 1 month. Okay, yeah, 1 month. You have up to a month back of data. So this is Sentdex. The finance portion is what we are looking at. The actual algorithm also applied to politics and geographical as well. So for now, we just want to focus on the actual finance portion of it. If you look at this, they provide sentiment analysis on stocks, on Forex, on Bitcoin. So, under Forex, you can pull out the euro dollar. It takes a wee while to load up here. And you can look up Bitcoin, London stocks, as well as the Australian securities as well. So if you look at US stocks, just to understand our raw data a little bit, it's worthwhile to actually walk through this to understand how the data, what it looks like in the original form, or rather in its original platform, before we import it into research, so that we get some rough idea. So here, let's just say we look at Intel. If we select that, you can actually look at the so-called raw data. You have the stock price here, and you have the long-term sentiment, and then you have the sentiment volume, as well as the midterm sentiment, and finally the short-term. Yeah, short-term is available as well, so it's just not selected here. So the midterm is that one, and the long-term is that one. So if I remove that, you can see the long and midterm. And so you can see that there's some period that whereby there are not a lot of news, hence the actual sentiment pretty much stay put. There's not a lot of volume. I'm not too sure what happened there, but it also seems like that there's some sort of holidays of sorts during that period. There's not a lot of data or transaction that went through. Okay, so that's really just a brief overlook at what Sentdex provide in terms of the sentiment data.